Lone Star Park. But Blurt, like I said, was a winner last time out, looked good in that one. 2 starts back on the turf. I'm going to kind of cross through that one. The horse was well beaten. But the 2 other starts before that at this meet out here, ran second behind Wildwood Z, who won that race by 20 lengths, right? Hadn't fired since coming back after that race, I don't think. And then before that, picked up a solid third in a $15,000 maiden claiming race, missing just by a neck. And that's when he was claimed and goes over to Ronnie Cravens. But I think Blurt can have a pretty good run. Number 3, Screenplay, is going to be my second selection. This horse looks like it's going to be hard to beat, but I'm not afraid to beat a favorite. Screenplay, a solid second last time out. If you skip over that race on the turf, 2 back, this horse has had a pretty good record over on dirt courses this year since Sam Houston had a win out here at Lone Star at the $20,000 maiden claiming level, a second before that. I think Screenplay is a pretty decent horse. Number 2, Magazine Street, is going to be my third selection. Horse was a winner last time out. I love horses that win, and always like to, hopefully they're going to keep that winning ways going throughout some races. Steve Asmussen, Stuart Elliott, you got to love those guys out here at Lone Star Park. Magazine Street got that horse to hit the board.
Yesterday was a rare day where neither of them won a race, either together or separate. Asmussen seemingly has won at least 1, maybe 2, for about 3 or 4 weeks straight here. I don't have facts to back that up, but it seems like it. And he's got well over 50 wins on the meet. We haven't raced close to 50 days yet. I'm going with Asmussen's other horse in here. I'm going with Brazil Nut. I remember Brazil Nut last time he ran. I think I might have picked him in that race. He added blinkers. He added Lasix. He stepped over to the main track after running on synthetic in his previous start in December at Turfway. I don't think he cared much for synthetic that day, but 2 races back around Thanksgiving, he broke his maiden in a lower-level maiden claiming race at Churchill. So he obviously can handle dirt tracks. I thought he ran a decent race last time out. I think he's going to be a good price. He's second off the layoff. So I'm going to take Brazil Nut over Screenplay, who I fear is the lone speed in here and may be leading this for a really long way. Not sure about that extra 16th of a mile for him, but I'm taking Brazil Nut over Screenplay, and Doc Irwin, who really was out very slowly last time and made a strong bid on the 4th of July. Doc Irwin was 18 lengths back at the second point of call. 18 lengths is a super long distance, and made up really good ground, and Louis Q rides him back, and there's nobody better at getting a horse to settle and make a run from behind than him. Third race. I just wrote grab bag on top of this one. 3/4 of a mile, non-winners of 3 claimers. I think this is another race where you can, not take too short a price, and yet I ended up on the favorite.
Well, I got one that's a little bit of a price. Number 2, Blings Bellwether. Another one that's 8-1 on the morning line. So 2 starts back, this horse was able to win an allowance race right out here, sprinting. Before that, had a couple seconds, back-to-back seconds. Now, those came last year, 2021. Only 1 start for this horse in 2022. That start, the horse came out, looked like he was trying to make a move as they were coming down the stretch.
Yeah,
Not really a place to go. Ended up clipping heels in that race, lost the rider. So Blings Bellwether did not finish in that race, but the way that this horse was moving in that one, I liked it. I'd had this horse picked in my top 3, and I was really excited watching him run down the stretch. I thought he was gonna win that race, but the hole didn't open up, and that's what happens in this game sometimes. But I think this is going to be a good start for Blings Bellwether. I'll take the horse on top. Number 3, Feel the Burning, is going to be my second selection here. This horse has raced a couple times, 3 times out here this meet. Won the first start out here at this meet back on the 14th of May. Followed that back up with a solid second. Was claimed out of that race. Didn't have much in the most recent one, but I think that Feel the Burning can get back on it. Carl Broberg, he'll always have his horses in the top 3, it seems like. High percentage, so I'll take that horse. And then number 4, James's Moonshine, is going to be my third selection. A good second, missing by a neck last time out. I think his horse is good enough to get up there and hit the board after those 2 starts when I've seen him out here on our track this year.
Yeah, he seemed to put it together last time after just kind of a blah race on May 22nd here, and then some real blah races in Hot Springs, but you can forgive that. Hot Springs, even the Arkansas Bred Company, can be really difficult there. I'm going with James's Moonshine only on the fact that I don't know if they can catch him. He's coming out of a 5.5 furlong race where he made the lead and just got eclipsed late. If he can run that race back, now that was over a month ago, that was June 9th, but he's come back and had a decent breeze since. Scott Young's too good a trainer to go 0 for the meet, so I'm hoping that he gets off the duck here. I'm going to take James's Moonshine over Hell of a Life, who gets back to a level that he has competed well at before. So I'm going to take him second and Bling's Bellwether third. Bling's Bellwether did seem to have a lot of run going in his last race when he ran up in behind a brick wall. The main question for him is the move out of Texas Breds into Open Company, but you know, he may have very well been going on to win that race had he not had trouble on July 4th. On to the 4th. Got a couple of Danny Pishes that figure prominently in this one, a half dozen going with the scratch of the 4 Lexington Diva. This is a Texas-bred filly maiden special weight event at a mile.
Yeah, I got one of those Danny Pish horses. Number 1, Just Claire is my top choice here. A second last time out, missing by 3.5. Had some decent finishes before that. I mean, this horse is running in some good races down at Sam Houston Race Park. I like the move going from those turf races back over here to the main track. I think that could help Just Claire out. I'll go ahead and take the horse to win the 4th over the number 7, Cara Contina is going to be my second selection. A second for this one as well last time out. That was sprinting, so making a change from a sprint to a route race. We'll see what happens. Louis Q aboard. Always like seeing him on horses. I think this one's got a shot. And then I'll take the other Danny Pish horse as my third choice. That is 6, Trinity Queen. This horse has run 2 times this calendar year. First one was on the dirt in the sprint. Wasn't that good in that one, but that was after quite a bit of time off. Followed that back up with a race out here in June. Did a lot better in that one. That was 1 mile, the same distance we're running here, but that was on the grass. We're going back to the main track here. So switching some things up for the 6, Trinity Queen, but I think this horse is good enough to get up and finish in the top 3.
Yeah, it's interesting that the 2 Pish horses who figure so prominently in here are coming out of the same race, a mile turf race at this level for maiden special weight. Texas Breds, Just Claire was about half the odds, 7-2 versus almost 8-1 on Trinity Queen last time out. And Trinity Queen finished about a length and a half behind Just Claire. Both of them have had enough chances that I'm going to go with Cara Contina. Second off the layoff, stretching out, is really unproven on the main track at 2 turns, and has really not done a whole lot in a bunch of her races here. But she has the benefit of being 5 years old and having had a really slow start last time. I mean, her start last time was incredibly compromising, and yet she still rallied pretty well at 18-1. The winner of that race, Secret Reunion, was a firster for Diodoro that I happened to pick that day. So I was pleased to see that filly run well that day. So I'm going to give Cara Contina a chance on the stretch out here with Louis Q. I'm glad that Louis is staying with her over Just Claire and Trinity Queen. The 2 Pishes are going to be tough to beat in there, but going to try to give that Eduardo Cruz mare a shot. Got lots of speed in the 5th race today. Race number 5 is 5.5 furlongs on the dirt. Non-winners have 3 allowance. Scratch the 1, Moro Warrior, and scratch the gelding that was going to be a heavy favorite. Number 4, Salado. He was going to be probably a lot of people's picks in this race, mine included. But he's out, and so I land on a horse that has a tremendous amount of speed that I actually liked last time. Didn't pick him on top, but I liked him in his local debut, Nichiren, so I'm back on him. But I see you're going with the Dallas Keene runner.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take Chief Brady. Like you said, looks like there's quite a bit of speed in here, so I was looking for a horse that can close. Chief Brady showed nice closing speed last time out, coming from off the pace, ended up finishing second in that one. And if you look back, I mean, this horse won a stakes race at Sam Houston earlier this year, the Jim's Orbit, followed that back up with a 4th-place finish in the Groovy Stakes. Won a maiden claiming race back in January. So 2022 has been a pretty good year for Chief Brady with those 2 wins and that 1 second out of 5 starts. I think that this horse can do very well in this one. I mean, that last race was an allowance of non-winners of 3 allowance, just like this one tonight. If you look, finished second, beat a next out winner, and Lightning Struck as well. Dallas Keene, the horse that he sends out here, doesn't have all those wins this year, but 12 of 24 in the money, so that's 50% of the money. That's got to be one of the tops out here. I think Chief Brady can have a pretty good run tonight. Morning line odds were 6-1 with those two scratches. Probably not going to get 6-1 on this horse, but if you get anything close to that, I say run to the window. I think this is a nice play here in race number 5. 3 Lava Bomb, another one that's a bit of a bomb, is going to be my second selection. This horse right here has won the last 2 races. That was only 2 starts for this horse. Both of them coming up in Oklahoma at Will Rogers Down. So we're going to see how that form translates here to Lone Star Park tonight. But one of those wins was at this 5.5 furlong distance, so I like that. I'll take number 3 as my second choice. And then number 2, Nichiren, will be my third selection. This horse can earn some checks, has been earning some checks this year. Not those wins, but some seconds and thirds. If you look, when this horse was out west, was running in some 1,000-yard races. I assume those were against quarter horses in there too. So this horse is going to come out of there firing. I just think that he's not going to be able to hold on for 5.5. Chief Brady gets up and takes the win.
He didn't hold on last time, even though he made the lead. He's got tremendous speed. He's a Cal bred with tremendous speed. He used to run in pretty decent company out there. I'd like him better at 5 furlongs or something, even a half mile, but I scratch into him. I just think his speed could be dangerous. Lava Bomb is my second pick. It's interesting that Mora rode him at Will Rogers, and he keeps them out here today. I think that familiarity helps. Nichiren and Lava Bomb, if they cancel each other out, Chief Brady's last race was really good. El Pando is a star. I mean, he was coming back after a layoff since the fall. El Pando was a really highly regarded 2-year-old last year or youngster last year. And, he's a certified star that came back running. And Chief Brady could be really, really formidable in this spot. On we go to the 6th. Scratch number 3, Dox Danita. 5/8 of a mile here on the turf. These are Texas bred, first level allowance fillies.
So I'm on number 5, Miss B, here in race number 6. So this horse has run 18 different times on the turf, has 2 wins, 6 seconds, and 2/3. So 10 out of 18, this horse has finished in the money on the turf course. Has a win at this 5 furlong distance as well. A win out here at Lone Star Park. All those things are kind of adding up. Carl Broberg, the trainer, the one knock about this horse, 0 for 6 so far in 2022. But, does have 4 second-place finishes. I'm hoping this horse gets off the nut for the year right here. I'll take Miss B as my top choice. Number 8, Eagle Express. This is going to be a hard horse to beat. If you take a look back, this horse had dating back to last year, had a nice run of stakes races. I'm counting 3, 6, 7 in a row is what I see in my program. All the way back to the Texas Stallion Stakes last year. Followed that back up at Saratoga in a grade 3. Did well in the Texas Bred Stakes, the Texas Stallion Stakes this year at Sam Houston, the 2 Alzano. So the horse can run against some decent ones here in this state. I think that Eagle Express, although that is going to have a short price on this, I think does get beat by Miss B. But, you can't – it's hard to overlook Asmussen and Elliott. I talk about that every night I'm on this show. Those two guys, heads and shoulders above the rest in both the trainer and jockey standings this year. So Eagle Express is going to be my second choice, and I went with the horse on the inside rail. Peak Factor as my third selection. This horse was a winner 2 back. That was at 6 furlongs, followed that back up with a solid second at 6 furlongs. Now is going to move over to the turf for the first time in this horse's career. We'll see if that move to grass does well for Peak Factor, I guess.
Yeah, Rick and his picks, Rick Lee's picks in the front of the program has Peak Factor on top. She could really like the shorter distance. I don't know. I didn't know what to do with her, so she's not in my picks. To me, this is a super wide open race. I could handicap this probably, every other day and come up with a different winner. I'm on Eagle Express, though, 3-year-old filly, first time on the turf. Quite honestly, considering the way she started her career, I think it's fair to say that at the level she's been competing at, she's been a little bit of a disappointment. She's cashed a lot of checks. She's good at that, has earned over $100,000 for her owner breeder, Will Farish. Has been training pretty well of late, coming off a little mini layoff since being lapped on the winner Tootie in her last race here while running third. Does have that stakes experience. I'm just hoping that maybe she can sit and finish here going 5/8 on the turf and hope that maybe some of the speed isn't going to hold here. Mississippi Bling, to me, is a really interesting proposition. 2 outs ago had a really, really slow start, almost dwelt. It wasn't dwelling, which is where you just stand there when everybody else breaks, but had a really slow start. Last time out, fixed that and raced much more forwardly and fared okay on the main track, but now gets back to the dirt, which is clearly Mississippi Bling's best surface. She's pretty quick on the turf. I like her for second, and my third pick is Swift Red Bird, who's really, really fast. Second off a long layoff. Could be a really nice price. And, you know, if there's nobody as quick as her in this field, which I'm not sure there is, I mean, Mississippi Bling might be, but you never know how she's going to get out of there. Swift Red Bird could lead for a long way, so I took her over Miss B for third. On to the 7th. 6 furlongs, Texas bred non-winners of 2 claimers. And I'm back to the chalk in this one.
Not me. I'm taking one that's still a little bit of, 5-1 on the morning line, number 4, Fearless Prince. That's going to be my top choice here. A good second last time out. I mean, it was right up there most of the way around the oval at the 1 mile distance. Cutting back the 6 furlongs here. This horse has only run this distance one time with nothing to show for it. But, I mean, this horse, if you look back, had 4 turf races in a row. The most recent turf race was okay, but moved over to the main track, tried 1 mile last time out. Like I said, was up there toward the lead most of the way around, finished in second in that one, missing by a head. I think that this horse could have a good run today and pick up the first win at Lone Star for Michael Inario. So hopefully he is able to pick one up right there, and hopefully I called it right here. So that's the number 4.
I've got him second too. He's definitely got a big chance. I mean, he doesn't have much of a history sprinting, but he really did fire the last couple of times for sure.
Yeah, so I'm hoping that momentum keeps going. So I'll take 4, Fearless Prince. Number 2, More Than Play, is going to be my second choice. This horse was a winner last time out, broke that maiden at the $15,000 level. That was back in June, so a little over a month later, we're going to see this horse back out here. That team of Asmussen Elliott, like I talked about. I think this horse being lightly raced is going to help out More Than Play. I'll take the horse second. Over number 3, Play Rule. Gerardo Mora gets on this one. Last time out, I mean, this horse blew the field away, won by 8 1/4. Wire to wire did it. That was at 6 furlongs. That was at the $7,500 level, so taking quite a step up here to $20,000, facing winners for the first time. We'll see what happens. Play Rule could get up there, but, hey, my top 3 horses in this one, we're looking at morning lines of 5-1, 8-1, 6-1. Sounds like a pretty nice trifecta to me.
You got, in More Than Play, you've got a Steve Asmussen, and in Play Rule, you've got an ex-Asmussen who was claimed away from him last time and now starts for Alan Dupe. So you got the Asmussen carryover effect there. I'm going with Bling Mountain on top, the morning line favorite. Drops out of a first-level allowance. Lately has been facing decent runners. I mean, Ready Edge just got up to out Bob, Rush the Colors, and the last time Bling Mountain went postward at this same distance. Rush the Colors then came back and won off the pace, which was something I didn't realize was in his toolbox the other day. Bling Mountain's race on July 8th, to me, was kind of blah, but he earned a nice speed figure. That was a pretty good race. And race before that, he faced Salado, who would have been a heavy favorite a couple of races ago had he not scratched. So his level of competition's been strong. And so I went ahead and took Bling Mountain here, who might be sitting in a good spot coming for home. He'll have to overcome probably a wide trip, but 6 furlongs, I don't mind that too much. And then I took Fearless Prince and More Than Play in behind him. On to the 8th. Fillies here, first level allowance, non-winners of a race other than 5.5 furlongs is the distance. And we're looking at a very heavy favorite on the morning line here. A filly that last couple times out has been a bit of a money burner here, but that's Canada's Custom.
You know what? And I'm going to beat the horse.
Okay.
And I'm going to beat the horse with the number 3, Whoop Car.
Whoop Car, yeah.
Who, if you look in the debut for Whoop Car, beat Canada's Custom. So
remember that.
I'm going to take that angle. The horse Whoop Car had that one start at Delta Downs. It was pretty good. Ran second in that race. Beat, like I said, Canada's Customs. Followed that back up with a race on the turf out here. Broke its maiden, won by a length. I like seeing that. That was that one race after a layoff. I love seeing 2 races after a layoff. This one right here, Whoop Car, I think takes the 8th over Canada's Customs, who is going to be my second selection. I mean, this horse has a nice record. Has already won, 125 so far this year out of 10 starts, 4 of those being wins. So, I mean, you got to have a lot of respect for this horse, but you know the way I play him. I got to try to beat a favorite, especially one that could go off at 1-1 like Rick Lee has indicated for the morning line. And then number 6, Flew By You, is going to be my third selection. I mean, this horse won back-to-back wins, was claimed last time out from Carl Broberg, goes to Robertino Diodoro. He can win first out from his barn. I think if this is a horse to take a look at as well here in race number 8.
You know, I gave a lot of thought to picking Wupcar, who I picked last time. By the way, that stands for Wake Up, Kick Tail, if you will. A little more colorful word than that. Repeat, which was the motto of a young high school baseball player in Louisiana that unfortunately passed away. That was his mantra, was wake up, kick tail, repeat. And unfortunately, he passed away, and obviously the breeders named this Louisiana bred after this young man. And when he came back and won on June 17th, the only question I have about him is that was a great turf race, and he had run pretty well in his debut way back in November, but will he transfer his form back to the dirt? He ran well at Delta in his debut, so there's reason to think that. But I went with Canada's Customs. You know, I've been disappointed in her twice in a row, but, you know, did come very close last time out, was well clear of third at this level, is better on the main track than on turf. So I'm going to go with Canada's Customs over Wupcar and Flew By You as a third pick. So one thing that's interesting about this race is Lane Luzzy rode Wupcar to victory last time, and yet Luzzy is sitting this one out, and they put Jose Alvarez, who rode a Coloratura in that last race that Wupcar was in, I believe. I believe Alvarez had another mount in that race, but now he's back on for Calhoun, and he is kind of Calhoun's go-to guy. So I guess that probably explains that. 9th and final. 1 mile and 1 furlong, 1 mile and 1/8 on the turf, and another good first-level allowance.
Yeah, I'll take number 3, Blue Boon, as my top choice here. This horse has a lot of turf experience. 4 out of the 5 races for this horse have been on the turf. The only time it didn't, it was rained off the turf or moved off the turf at Fairgrounds earlier or back last year. Now, this horse has had 2 starts in 2022, both of them being right out here at Lone Star Park. One of them at 1 mile, one of them at 7.5. Both of those races were pretty good. Broke its maiden in the mile race. That was the one 2 starts back. Second by a head last time out. I think that Blue Boon has a good run here and wins this race. Number 5, Federal Hill, is going to be my second selection. 2 consecutive seconds for this horse. That most recent one coming out on our turf course at 7.5. So I'm going to have to add a little bit of distance on tonight, but I think that does well for Federal Hill. Was able to close well in that race last time out. And then number 4, Gold Vermilion, will be my third selection here. A good second last time out, actually led the race at one point last time. A lot of turf experience for this horse as well. 11 of 18, this horse has finished in the money on the turf, has a win out here at Lone Star Park as well. Gold Vermilion, one to watch here in the nightcap, I believe.
You know, I'm going with David Cabrera in here. I really, at this track, I want to see a horse that I have a little bit stronger hunch might be okay with the 9 furlongs. That's getting a little long for some of the horses in our region. I'm taking Aquamine, number 10. Last time out, really had to wait, had to be patient, was steadied. I think this horse will like the extra distance. I think, you know, Cabrera should be able to work out some kind of a trip on this horse. He's been off since June 4th. He's come back, and he's had 3 breezes since then for Austin Gustafson, who's good at bringing them back off layoffs. And I think he'll be able to work out a trip from out there, from hopefully not laying too far behind. I'm going to take him over Uncle Artie, who likes this course and always seems to kind of be knocking on the door. Doesn't always come through. I mean, he's 0 for 7 this year, but he had a good year last year. And Uncle Artie is taking the blinkers off. He has a long history of racing without blinkers, and it looks like most of his winning, if not all of it's been done without the shades. So I'm going to give Uncle Artie at 6-1, who comes out of the same race as Aquamine, the second pick. And then Blue Boon, he's the one I fear. My only fear about him is just the distance. I mean, he's going to be out there on the lead. He's going to have Brock on by. You know, or Blue Boon might not make the lead. He might have to chase, but he's going to have Brock on by up there with him, and maybe some other horses pressing them. And I mean, Blue Boone may very well win this race. He's very logical, but I want to see him win at 9 furlongs before I get totally on his bandwagon. We don't have a single top pick in common tonight.
That's kind of strange
That's
for us,
very
especially
unusual.
through 9 races. So.
Yeah, it's hard to do for 9 races. I quickly tabulated that Rick and I, who used to agree a lot on picks, but I've become a much more kind of eclectic handicapper. We only agree 4 times, Rick and I. So I might have a really good night, or I might have a head scratcher. We'll see.
Being that we don't have no picks in common today, I'm hoping you go over, Jim.
Well, that's a nice sentiment. We'll see how it goes. But there may be some gloating in order if one or the other of us has a really good night, because that's going to mean the other one didn't.
I'll make sure to shoot you a text.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll get a text from me if I'm not having a hot night. All right. Well, this is our last show together this year, isn't it?
That's it.
Well, thanks as always. I'm sure we will get back together again as we always do in the fall.
That's right. Second week of September or so, we'll be right back at it. Hopefully, temperature will be about 15, 20 degrees cooler that first week. So
I sure hope. It can be warm in September, but it shouldn't be like this. All right. Still a nice night for the races here. We've gotten a little bit of a break from the heat earlier this week. We're fast and firm. Good luck tonight on your Friday.
Home here at Lone Star Park at Grand Prix. Sellers' third victory in tonight's NTRA All-Star.
Coming down to the finish, Singletary to catch, Antonius Pius veers
in. By Jerry Bailey and Kieran fell on the outside. Jerry Bailey goes to the lead, gets the head in front and remains perfect this year.
The horses are ready. Are you?
DFW's most unique dining experience is at Lone Star Park, and it's called Silks. Win big dining at Silks, featuring tiered panoramic views overlooking the racetrack, access to our reimagined all-you-can-eat buffet, betting from the convenience of your table, and so much more. Tickets are on sale now for the Thoroughbred Racing season, now running through July 24th. Visit LoneStarPark.com/tickets to reserve your seats today.
Hey you, yeah you, sitting and watching the races. Where's your swag? You don't got none. How can you even call yourself a true fan without the genuine article, Lone Star Park swag? I don't think so. Why don't you go mosey on down to the corral on the first floor? They got something for everyone. Gifts, garments, and plenty of other stuff to take a gander at. Now if that don't put a bee in your bonnet, nothing will. Still plenty of time to check out the corral. What you waiting for?
Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant Friday and welcome to an evening of racing at Lone Star Park at Grand Prairie. Main track is fast, turf course is firm. 9 races tonight, the first of which coming up in 28 minutes. Please wager early, as the races are scheduled to begin on time. At this time, we direct your attention to the winner's circle as Tennille Nichols performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Tennille Nichols. Once again, we thank you for joining us on this Friday evening. 2 more race cards remaining on this thoroughbred season after tonight, with 11 a.m. starts tomorrow and Sunday to wrap up the thoroughbred session here, ahead of the fall meeting of champions for American Quarter Horses, which begins on September 16th. If you have tonight's program handy, here are the changes and overweights on the 9-race card. The first race today on the turf course offers the Jackpot Super High 5, the carry over $909. Scratch number 10, Valdina Dreams. 10 Valdina Dreams scratched. And change the rider on the 9, Morrow Beard. Make it Weston Hamilton. Weston Hamilton on the 9, Morrow Beard. And a couple of horses have worked since the program was printed. These workouts are in daily racing form, but not the program. Number 7, Morrow Flyboy, worked here July 17th. Morrow Flyboy went 3 furlongs on a fast track in 37.68 seconds breezing. And the aforementioned number 9, Morrow Beard, worked a half mile on July 17th, breezing out of the gate in 50.3 seconds. 50.30 seconds for Morrow Beard, breezing out of the gate. Second race begins the early pick 4. Scratch number 5, Gamma Ray. Scratch 5, Gamma Ray. And please note the 1 Brazil Nut had a 3-furlong work here July 17th that does not appear in the program. Brazil Nut went 3/8 of a mile on a fast surface in 39.41 seconds breezing. Looking ahead to the third, change the rider on the 2 Blings Bellwether, make it Gerardo Mora. Gerardo Mora rides the 2 Blings Bellwether. And a workout from July 17th for the 7 Special Price. Special Price on July 17th. Went a half mile here on a fast track in 54.9 seconds breezing. Race 4 tonight begins the 6-shooter. A one-day carryover, $180 in the 6-shooter, which is our conventional pick 6 wager. In the 4th, scratch number 4, Lexington Diva. 4 Lexington Diva scratched. And change the rider on the 6, Trinity Queen. Make it Gerardo Mora. Mora rides the 6, Trinity Queen. Race 5 begins the pick 5. Pair of scratches here. Take out the 1 Moro Warrior and the 4 Salado. 1 Moro Warrior and the 4 Salado scratched. Number 2 Nichiren will carry a corrected weight of 123. And a couple of works that do not appear in the program. 6 Silver Wings. Silver Wings worked July 17th here. Half mile and 48.21 seconds breezing. And the 7 Chief Brady, July 17th here. 3/8 of a mile on a fast track in 37.93 breezing. Sixth race tonight begins the late pick 4. Scratch number 3, Dox Danita. Scratch 3, Dox Danita. Number 7, Hawkeye Girl, worked here at Lone Star Park July 17th in a drill that does not appear in the program. Hawkeye Girl, 3 furlongs on a fast track and 39.98 seconds breezing. In today's 7th, change of rider for the 6 Texas Remington. Make it David Cabrera. David Cabrera rides the 6 Texas Remington. And an additional work for the 2 More Than Play. More Than Play worked here July 17th at Lone Star Park. 3 furlongs in 39.37 seconds breezing. 39.37 breezing for More Than Play on July 17th. In tonight's 8th, no changes. However, there is a work for the 1 Blow Some Smoke from July 17th. Blow Some Smoke went 3 furlongs on a fast track in 40 seconds flat. 40 flat breezing. 9th and final race is our other Jackpot Super High 5 wagering race. Change the rider on the 6 Afternoon Anejo. Make it Weston Hamilton. 6 Afternoon Anejo to be ridden by Weston Hamilton in the 9th. Once again, we appreciate your cooperation, and please wagering early. We're 20 minutes to post. The field being led over. They'll be in the paddock shortly for race 1.
And a pleasant good Friday evening to everybody joining us here at Lone Star Park at Grand Prairie. A nice cloudy evening here, not quite as hot. Temperatures are about to come down, and we're about to have a great night here at Lone Star Park. 9 live races for your entertainment, a great night of racing. My name is Dave Appleton. I'll be down here in the saddling paddock area as always. I'll give you a little snapshot, a synopsis of a couple of horses that I think fit the conditions, and perhaps I can guide you towards a couple of live ones before you step up and make your own investments. Let's look at the first race on the card. We kick it off going 5 furlongs on the turf. This is a maiden race. It is for Texas accredited maidens, 3-year-olds and upwards. At this 5 furlong on the turf distance, I'm going to take a shot with the 5, Bulls in the Bronc. Bulls in the Bronc comes into this spot, ran a very good second last time out, going 7.5 furlongs. I love the way they closed down the racetrack. He was a horse that was a big, deep closer. He's a horse that I think now shortens up to 5 furlongs. Going to be a little further back, but I think he's got enough tactical speed. He's going to be full of run in the run down the lane, so a lot to like about Bulls in the Bronx. My second choice is going to go back with the 1. That's going to be Sweet Present. Here's another one that comes out of a route, goes back into a sprint. He was 4th last time out, made up a lot of ground, shortens back up. He might actually have enough tactical speed to get close to the leaders in the early going. They might want to push him along from down on that inside. Then I came back with the 7, Moro Flyboy. This horse looked like he was 7 lengths home a winner, and then he ducked into the rail, ended up losing his rider. Here's a horse that when you see any horse having a 7-length lead, so when he goes to the turf for the first time, there's no doubt that they're going to ship this horse. He is going to be speed. There's a couple of other speed horses in there, but this horse could clearly go gate to wire, even though he's going up in class. Not a lot of other speed. There's 1 or 2 others, but I think he could be a horse that could get away. And then also I came back with the 4, Crazy Ridge. Last time out, ran 5th. Time before that, 4th. Both of those races were going 2 turns. Shortens up now to 5 furlongs, so they'll be coming from off the pace. A lot to like about those horses. I went 5-1, 7-4. This race does offer win, play, show. Exact as a 50-cent try, a 10-cent super. Of course, our daily double on races 1 and 2 kicks off a 50-cent pick 3, and it kicks off our first super high 5 of the evening. It's a 20-cent bet, already $1,000 in a carryover. Here's how that works. Pick the first 5 runners in the correct order, and if you are the only one that has the ticket, you get the whole pot. If not, if there's multiple winning tickets, there's a consolation payoff, and the carryover will carry over to the 9th race on the card, our final race on the card. That's our super high 5 jackpot. Races 1 and 9 is when we always have those. Good luck with your selections, and have a great night here at Lone Star Park.